What a crap day. Alrighty, welcome everyone back to the channel. Today I'm going to look at fueling for the car, for the mighty Golf 1.8T GTI. Got a new tune on, and it seems like it's missing a bit of fuel up top, so I'm going to drop in a new fuel pump courtesy of Mike from the MK4 Australian group. He had a spare fuel pump which was a bit uprated for the Golf, so that's nice. So I'll do that first and then look at the injectors later on. And I dare say if I am changing the injectors, it's going to need another remap. So I'll do the fuel pump and see if that helps. But yeah, we're going to try and get into the car, drop the windows down a little bit and work outside in the rain. So here we go. Righto, so what I've done first is I've taken out the fuel pump fuse just there. 1, 2, 3, third from the top on the right hand side for right hand side driving, and you're just going to then turn the car on, let it start, and then let it just cut out. And that should be no fuel left in the lines. I should just try and crank with no success. So fuel pump fuse is out. Love the middle console, but yeah, now I'm going to get the back seats out and going to get access to the fuel pump. Alrighty, so first things first, you want to move the carpet and just get rid of these three screws holding it down. That's the lid for the fuel pump. Every VAG car has one. Put this over there. Need a screwdriver. Pry the lid open just like that. It's a bit dusty down here, that's normal. And we want to grab some rags, some tools. And the bucket. Grab a bucket. There we go. A bucket to put some shite in. So what you want to do here is just lay down all of. So you're going to remove the plug. Push down. Traditional Bosch style, which is great. Move that to the side. Probably got a meter hand. And yeah, going to remove the fuel line. And the fuel line, you need 2 screwdrivers, one to press the button and one to lift the lines out of the socket. So this is quite annoying, but I'll leave that down there. And then you've got the retainer bit here. You're just going to turn it anti-clockwise to get it loose. So I will do that now. So I'm unfortunately going to need 2 hands, so I'll pop this down and do it and come back. Right, shitty weather, I'm still doing this because I need to do something with the car. So I've got the fuel lines connected out. I've hammered the retainer screw on a jiggy thing off. Sorry. So now I think the fuel pump is ready to go out. So I'm going to try and yank it out without breaking any lines. Right. Make sure I have lots of rags. You don't want fuel on the carpet in the car anywhere, because that's gonna be shit house for the next couple of months trying to get that smell out. So get it out of the way. Okay. Oh, yes. Got the bucket ready. Get it close by. and the idea is I'm going to take the fuel pump out, make sure you don't break this end a bit, let it dangle there for a bit so till it all drips out, and then I can put the fuel pump in the bucket, and I'm going to go into the garage to do the rest of the work because there's not a lot of space back here. So make sure the gasket comes out too. There you go, one hand job. That's completely shit. I might put this phone on while I try and do it. Stinks like fuel. Okay, there it is, it's coming out. That's the unit. Just play with it. There's a little dangly bit. Everything drain out in the tank. And then once we get the fuel pump out, pop the lid back on so there's no dirt and crap going down, and then pop out of the car to do some more work. So I'm going to use two hands again to take the fuel pump out. Right, fuel pump out. It's in the bucket. I'm gonna leave all these rags here. I'm gonna need my tools. We won't need the retaining thing. Won't need the power drill. So yeah, I'm gonna hop out the car now and grab the stuff, and off we go. So back to the garage now. Righty, so this is the newish one that we're going to use. It's a DW65v. So that's the uprated fuel pump, and that should deliver more pressure through the fuel lines, more fuel, and yeah, hopefully get a lot better drivability, especially with a higher tune using the KO3S. But yeah, that's what we're going to use. So what we need to do is to remove the top section, get to the hoses below, and it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I'm going to remove one of the hoses to the fuel pump, leave that other outer hose intact, and yeah, I might just pop it down. I'll just pop it down on a piece of rag, just bear with me. Alrighty, so while I'm waiting for the fuel to drain, we just got to make sure that we've got this all noted. So the hose sticks out to the rear, and the brown is on the right and the black is on the left. So that's what you got to make a note of. Take a photo. I've taken a photo already. When you remove it, make sure it's put in the same way so that yeah, pump's not on backwards and pumping backwards. So yeah, I'm going to grab this, get rid of this one-time clip, pop another clip on when I exchange the hose, so I'll do that right now. To remove the top, there's two clips on the side. You just get a small screwdriver, press it in gently, don't break shit along the way, try not to break it, and unclip the black one on the left and the brown one, black one on the right and the brown one on the left. You can see that properly. So unclip that, these two wires out of the way with, this is out of the way, and then next we got to disconnect the hose, leave this hose on, we're going to disconnect the other hose off, so another screwdriver job here. I'll just pry it out slowly with the screwdriver. So off I go now. Pried it off, starting with the middle part here, then gradually worked my way across, so now it's loose, can come off, and the hardest part next is to get this hose off the fuel pump, because that's, try to get it off the other the fuel pump here, and that was a pain in the ass, so wish me luck, guys. Right, so I took the 4 screws at the back off so I can get more space next to the hose. I'm likely to take these plastic bits off so I can get more access to the hose. So the hose is still fighting me. but you know, I'll get to it eventually, like I always do, and hopefully get this fuel pump replaced. Right, so I finally got the hose off. I had to get the screwdriver along the inside and just sort of pry it out, and then you can yank it out. So that looks still good. It's time to get this bad boy out and reverse the order back in, and then go back and put it back in the car. So it's still bucketing down, raining. Yeah, keep going, I say. I know. So fuel pump is out. The hose was fighting me a little bit, but I'm all good now. That's what they both look like, but looks very similar. One's VDO, one's dw65c. A bit more uprated, so I'm going to pop this in now, just like that. Up, so it's going to have to go to the other side, like so. Make sure that's in, and it should line up with the bottom filter part there. So that's going to go into that little knob down there, and this fuel pump has to face the other side, so hopefully I've got it right there, and along with putting in the gasket and make sure that's in correctly. So do that now, 2 hands, and come back. All these fumes are getting me high, so that's all back in. Gonna put the hose, one of the hoses back on now, and yeah, I'll put everything back together, reverse, and hopefully she's good. Righto, so hose is back on, it's clamped down. I'm going to connect up the wires again, then pop this back on with the cap on top and the spring inside. So yeah, almost ready to go back into the fuel tank. Alrighty, fuel pump is all back together again with the new uprated dw65 fuel pump. Let's go outside now, back to the car, and pop her in. Alrighty, so I've dropped the fuel pump in. I have to line it up with the gasket on the fuel pump, and then I just have to reconnect everything, and hopefully it starts up again. If it doesn't, I'll be sad, and I'll have to put the stock fuel pump back in, but fingers crossed this is still good. Came out of another Golf GTI that had a KO4 in it, so that should do very nicely in my KO3S Mark 4 Golf GTI. So do that now. Apparently this is quite annoying, so I'll need 2 hands, and I'll come back again. Right, so it took a bit of figuring out, but the gasket's in. I'm now going to screw the fuel pump in, three screws. Oh, and that's going to help. That is going to help the fuel pump stay in place, and the gasket's going to stop the fuel from coming in everywhere. So yeah, I'll go and do that now, and then we can pop the fuse back in and prime the car 3 or 4 times, get the fuel into the fuel lines, and then attempt to start the car. So guess who's a duffer and forgot to put the retaining clip back on. So I'm going to have to undo everything and screw it back on. So almost there, guys. Don't let that get you down. Keep going. Alright, that only took another 5 minutes to do. Still a pain in the ass, but what do you do? Screws back on, and gonna get the fuse back in again to test the car finally. Alrighty, so moment of truth. Gonna put this fuel back in again. That's in. Going to attempt to prime it. So, alright, so I can hear the fuel pump priming. It's always a good sign. Alright, 4, 5, 6 for good luck. So let's check now if it will start. Fingers crossed. Love that needle sweep. Will it start? It sure does. New fuel pump in. Fired straight up again, first shot. Can't go wrong, can't complain with that. I'm going to leave the windows down a little bit. She's up and running, so yeah, that's a wrap again, guys. That's how you do swap the fuel pump in. If you don't want to spend a lot of money and just buying the whole unit and just dropping it in, then just get the actual fuel pump. You need to do this if you want to get an uprated one. All of the other plastic ones that I found online are OEM replacements, so it may not be as strong, but yeah, certainly, you know, follow these steps if you get stuck. Yeah, hit me up in a comment. I'm happy to help. But otherwise, yeah, that's how you do your fuel pump. Shout out to Mike for the fuel pump, thanks a lot, and yeah, see you on the next video. Cheers.